and thank you for joining me here today for this update video. Today I'm going to just do a quick update on a subject which I sent out on a previous video about sending in questions for myself and for my wife. Something that I could ask to my wife, we could have a conversation, or she could give her thoughts on your questions about our relationship, how she feels about cross-dressing, how she feels about me, for example, and really just to try and go through those. Now, first thing I wanted to say was thank you to everyone that's actually submitted those questions so far. I've had loads and loads of questions, certainly a lot of different variety. Quite a few things are kind of very similar sort of questions from different people, but a lot of different variety on different types of topics. Certainly enough for us to tackle in far more than one video. But we will, I think, look to address a few interesting varied questions in the first video. Now, to let you know what the progress is so far, my wife is currently doing some exams and stuff at the moment this week, so this week isn't the best week, but I'm thinking that we'll try next week to sit down and review this. What we're going to do is we're going to have a kind of practice run, think about how we want to set the camera up and how relaxed and sort of open we're feeling in terms of discussion and in terms of the content. So have a sort of practice run, see how that goes. If it's great and everything's fantastic, then I'll simply edit it and upload it. If however we want to kind of take stock, think about things, and then have a second go which we feel will be more interesting, entertaining, whatever, then that's what we'll do. So that kind of puts me on a schedule to try to release something in a couple of weeks' time. So maybe record next week, might be okay, might have to record again the following week, but that kind of schedule. Everything seems to be going so fine so far. I've shown some of your questions to my wife. She thinks some of them are really very interesting, and interestingly for me, questions that I thought maybe she wouldn't have been interested in, she was. So I'm learning stuff from this as well, and it's good for me as well. So all good stuff there. Anyway, just wanted to kind of give you that update, let you know that we have got your stuff. Anyone that's sent in questions so far, I've been kind of responding personally just to let you know that we're definitely going to consider those. I'm going to try to group them all together and condense them down to a core group of questions, particularly where the questions are kind of on a theme. I'll gather together certain questions from a theme and just kind of use them to flesh something out that's a really good talking point, maybe from 2, 3, 4, 5 different people's inquiries, that kind of stuff, especially since some of you have been kind enough to send multiple questions. Now, if there's anything else you wanted to ask in the interim, please do continue to send stuff through to me. There's no reason to stop doing that now. If you've got anything you're particularly interested in, then please do send that through. And I would say that we'll obviously try and tackle the first-ish questions that I got, some kind of date order. And if there are some questions that are really quite simple, we might just kind of rattle off some fast, quick, speedy answers that are just yes, no, doesn't apply, that kind of stuff. If that's going to help us to move through things quickly, we don't have to turn everything into a massive talking session. But we'll try and focus in, I think, 2 or 3 questions and get some in-depth discussion going. Anyway, all going well so far. Thank you to everyone who submitted those questions. Really appreciate that. If there is any kind of other suggestions that you have for videos that we might want to do, then by all means do feel free to send them through to us through the email address juliettesnoir@gmail.com or through the website juliettenoir.uk. Really sort of interested in hearing what people's thoughts and viewpoints and opinions are on these kind of subjects. It's always very interesting for me. In the meantime, just to catch up on a few other things that's been going on, we're still doing the usual bits and pieces at home. Work and family have been kind of at the forefront of my thinking, so I haven't been doing that much dressing for the last couple of weeks. Certainly not since I got back from Leeds. I was going to go to B&O and I just didn't fancy it in, so we just had a sort of family weekend instead, and I didn't lose all of my Saturday due to being tired and grumpy and miserable from being out till 3 a.m. But that's nice. It's nice to have the flexibility to sometimes decide that you don't want to, go out. I don't feel I have to go out to every event. I get out to enough events that I'm more than happy just to skip something every now and again and leave it to one side. Now, another update thing, as you can see, the hair is getting longer. It's by no means at a kind of feminine length, but it's getting to the point where I can do interesting things with it. What you can see for sure now, which may not have been obvious on earlier videos or when you've seen me previously, you can see the degree to which my hair is incredibly sort of naturally curly. So any length that I get on my hair, it takes about twice as long to grow my hair as other people might do, because it simply corkscrews, and then you need an awful lot of length to be able to actually get any decent, kind of length down here. When I pull it straight, it's probably a couple of inches longer than it actually looks. But that's just, the problems of having naturally curly hair. But it's getting to the point where I can do sort of interesting things. I can do this kind of look. This kind of look, it kind of reminds me of a sort of 1930s flapper style thing. I know that was often quite sort of pasted down and wavy, pasted to the actual head itself. But this seems to be kind of in the right ballpark. And I figured that what I'd do today, because I didn't have much time at all, I've knocked up this makeup in 20 minutes, just with my very, very, very basic, fast, quick, super quick makeup routine of using my Krylin TV paint stick in 4W, just over the face, no beard cover, just straight in with a paint stick, blend it in. I've used my Krylin Ultra Foundations, the highlight and the contour, to do a bit of very light contouring. Nothing too much today, nothing like I would normally do for a nighttime look, but really kind of take it down. I've set that with powder, done my eyebrows, I've done my eyelashes just with a bit of mascara, and I've then done some very, very light pink shade, just one shade, just to give a tiny bit of colour into my eye sockets. And then a black winged eyeliner. That's all I've done. That's really everything. And then, pink lips. Bit of blush, bit of contour, bit of highlight, and I'm done. So yeah, this was 20-25 minutes today, just to try to knock something up, to record a quick video and to get something out there today. I've still got a few videos and stuff that I've taken in the last couple of weeks, and I'm still getting around to editing. But like I said, work and family stuff is kind of, taking precedent at the moment, and I'm going to try to jump back in and do a few more things a little bit more often through the next week, because I've got more opportunities to do stuff in the next weeks, particularly in the run up to summer, particularly in the run up to Sparkle, which I'm going to in July. I'm really looking forward to this, and I think there's a nice opportunity to kind of have not necessarily a relaxing couple of months, but have a kind of low-key couple of months, do a few bits and pieces, and then really ramp up. The main thing about going to Sparkle this year, as a kind of last update, is that I'm going to do my best to record an awful lot of what goes on at Sparkle. So my typical normally thing is that I would go out during the daytime, but I would go out in drab. So I would never normally put makeup on. I don't like shaving multiple times in consecutive days, let alone a couple of times on a single day. So the idea of shaving in the morning and then shaving in the afternoon to then go out at night, I find that abhorrent. It's really not something that that works for me. So I prefer to go out in drab during the day, but I think I might do something just a little bit different this time. I might just do some makeup, but just not bother about the shaving until I'm ready for the evening. So I might do something a little bit different and just be a bit more sort of gender fluid with things, and see how that goes for Sparkle this year. That might be quite interesting. So I'm trying to put some thoughts into that, trying to have a think about what is kind of the the right approach, certainly the right approach to being able to do more stuff with the camera, kind of give you an idea of what it's like up there, what it's like on the night out, and see if I can find a way to set the camera up in a location where I can then get stuff that's kind of going on and around on video. And yeah, as long as my friends and people I'm talking to are happy to be on video, then great. If not, then I'll just have to go find different people. Anyway, so that's Sparkle. I'm all booked up. My hotel's booked. I've got my train tickets. Train tickets were really very cheap. I kind of got them in that nice window when you're not too early, not too late, and they put them out on sale, and I managed to pick up some first class tickets because they were really, really good value. So I paid less this year for first class tickets than I did last year for coach class tickets, standard tickets. So I'm really happy about that. That's good stuff. I'm very pleased, and yes, I'm certainly happy to have that all kind of sorted, done, ready, and be on my way. Anyway, so that's just a quick update of what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks following getting back from Leeds First Friday. And I thought I'd just give you a quick update just on how a few bits and pieces are going. And yeah, hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll do more stuff and do something with my wife, giving her thoughts at least. So her direct response to certain things. And I'm quite looking forward to that. I think it'll be interesting. Anyway, thank you for joining me here today. If you have any comments, any questions, anything like that, please let me know in the comment section down below. Otherwise, you can reach me through my email address, which is julietisnoir@gmail.com, or the website julietnoir.uk. Look forward to talking to you all again in the next video. Feel free to like, share and subscribe. Click the little bell to stay notified. And as ever, bye. Bye.